All right, I'm on hole number 15 of the East Coast tournament. This hole right here caused me some problems on the front. I picked up a shot and then I turned right around and dropped it on this one. And let me go, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I went back and watched the video on the front nine where I epic failed. And what I did was I clipped right here in the rough and I dribbled out. And from this distance, my red line with my Guardian was right in here. And I tried to do a max overpower shot with my Guardian to see and I left the wind in to see if I could bleed out into the fairway out here, and I got caught up in the rough. Couldn't get through. So I was caught up here. You have to get some distance out here into it. So on my shot setup, I was 3/4 of a ring. I moved it this direction, 3/4 of a ring, and I'm going to put it right back where it's right at the trunk. Because in a worst case scenario, I'll catch out here and clip, and then I will roll into the rough. And from here, you're picking up this distance. You can make it. Just want to get it. I just want to set this shot up in this account. I have it all set up in my main account, and I know exactly where to put it, and the ball will respond a certain way. But we want to try and get really want to bring backspin stuff, because if you end up in the right spot out there, you're gonna need your backspin stuff. I'm not going to get into my runner range, so that's not going to be an issue. I definitely want to bring, now I got to bring a Quasar. All right, here we go. Got to get an eagle on this time, but can't. This is a hole that you have to get an eagle on. This part of the -11 is getting an eagle on this hole. So if you're saying, hey, I can't get an eagle on that hole, then your minimum score is -10. But there's enough people that this hole is very eagleable. I mean, some of these holes, it's, you have a shot at eagle, but this hole you can get an eagle on here if you set it up right. Just a couple topspin. I'm going to leave the wind in. I'm going right at it. And I got just about all of it, if not all of it. Perfect. Now stop. Stop, 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 stop. Damn it. My fear there was, and the reason I put that topspin on, in my main account, I'm not putting on any topspin at all. And it's leaving me right dead center in the middle of that lane. And the reason I did is because I was afraid if I clipped the rough, by moving it to the left, if it made me clip the rough when I came around the bend, that topspin, that little bit of topspin would pop the ball out of the rough. But from where I landed out there, I had plenty of room. So in this account, it's definitely aim right at it with probably no topspin. If you want a serious shot at eagle every time, this is the one, is to come down here and get down there as close to that sand as you can. And they're not as close as they need to be. What we're looking for here. I want to see where I'm in the trees. We're going to do backspin and side spin where I think it'll engage the hole. It's 2 per ring, so that's about a 2-ring pool. And just wrap it around those trees. Just try and get myself up there so that I have a super legitimate eagle shot and not try and get greedy. I got behind those trees. So with these clubs, I don't have a lot of stuff on them. They don't have curl and all that. The ball guide's the one thing that I missed right there. So you're trying to extrapolate what you think is going to happen when you're doing a backspin side spin shot. Curl would have been more helpful right there. Yeah, and this is not the ball to bring if you're going to go for the lower shot. If you're really trying to give yourself a shot down here on the lower end, you can do it with a 3-power ball. 3-power ball is and a big dog. They hooked it to the left. It's big trouble. Oh, that was a unlucky sand hit. All right. Still got some work to do. Yeah, I am so close. The wind is not going to play a factor here. Go right at that flagpole. Hitting it perfect. Picking up my eagle. That's the shot I dropped on the front. And that's an unacceptable deal. This hole, you got to get an eagle on this hole. There's several different ways that you can do it. My opponent was on the right track as far as like getting the consistent eagle up there, but he brought the wrong stuff, in my opinion. It's definitely a 3-power ball. You need to get further down in the hole. And your secondary club's got to be the biggest, baddest wood that you have in your bag. Because you can't get, even with that club, getting up there on the green, you're going to have to do a big, probably max overpower shot with topspin and not a lot of ball guide. Good game. Good luck in the tournament. All right, that was hole number 15 of the East Coast tournament. So we're moving up the bracket. So this is let's see where we're at. We're in 6th right now. So the minimum score of -22. That's what we're looking for. I'm not seeing that yet. Let's see how many people have actually played in this bracket. We probably haven't had half the people in the bracket play. There's some batches here and there. So maybe half the people have played, probably less. So we're going to see some better scores up here towards the end. But being up in 6th at this point is pretty. That's pretty encouraging, though. Looking at where the score is right here of just the -20. So when we're talking about top 3, I like my chances. Give me a good tiebreaker going into the weekend round. That's really key when you have a low level count. And that's why the minimum score is so important, because it gives you good tiebreakers. It puts you ahead. So like if you get into the weekend round and let's say you're at the minimum score, you're going to be more towards the top. So that means in most weekends, you're going to be more towards that top 15, top 10. Whereas if you come in with really weak tiebreakers, you may end up with a top 20 or a 25th, somewhere in that neighborhood. So, it can cost you. Those tiebreakers really can cost you in the weekend round. So going in with the minimum is awesome. All right, I will catch you on 16. Thanks for watching.